So now, when we type something here and press enter, we've got our search entry right here. Yeah? Now we know that if a user enters some amount of text, whatever it is, and hits enter, we're going to want to initiate an API request. And we intend to go find some images that are matching whatever we enter as text here. Yeah? So the first thing we're going to need to think about is where are we going to write some of that code to actually do that API request. Then after that, we're going to talk about a service to fetch some images. So when I look at the search input component, well, I think that the only purpose of the search input is to allow a user to type in some input, right? And then submit it by hitting enter. It's not really the search input's job to take this entry and then use it to make an API request or to find some images for that matter. Instead, I would argue that it's the job of the app component, right? For the search input, rather than doing any API requests, I think that we need to somehow take the search entry and pass it back up to the app component. And then the app component can be the one in charge of actually making an API request and somehow getting that list of images. So in this section, we are going to figure out how we can somehow get that search entry from our search input back up and into that app component. So this is definitely going to be a new thing for us to learn here. At this point, we've really only learned how to communicate between components through the prop system. And remember, the prop system only allows us to pass information from the parent component down to a child. We can only pass information from the app component down to search input through props. But we can use a little trick. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to turn the app component into a class-based component. And then inside of it, we're going to define a callback method called onSearchSubmit. And then whenever the app component decides to show our search input, it's going to pass that callback method as a props down to the search input. And the search input is going to call that callback anytime that the user submits our form with whatever search term the user's entered. All right? So, a lot of theory. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back, and in the next section, we'll start refactoring our app component. See you there.